Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 447 of the No Sugarcoating Podcast. I'm your host, Amber. How are you? How's your day? How are we already almost into the middle of November? Um, Today's episode is going to be really good. We're going to talk about something I haven't really talked about before, and I bet you a lot of you have said this to yourself. I said this to myself in the past, and I've had some conversations in Instagram comments and DMs lately. I'm like, I need to talk about this. So we're going to dive into that right away. First, one thing that I would like to do, seeing as we just had Remembrance Day yesterday, Saturday, November 11th, I thought it would be very important for us to just take a moment of silence to have gratitude for all of those who have been of service and who are of service to support us and protect us and keep us safe. This is a big deal. So I would just want to take a moment and remember those who have, sacrificed their lives and their safety to be of service. We're very grateful. We're very grateful. So we're going to have a conversation today around a common mindset that is keeping you stuck. And I know that it is. And it's like, you know, it's frustrating, but I want to talk about it and it might trigger some of you, but that's okay because I'm here to lovingly call you out and light the fire under your butts. We're going to talk about a common mindset that's keeping you stuck, shifting the ego perception and being authentic. And you'll get more what I mean about that because it is the ego giving you this mindset that is keeping you stuck and your ego is loving that it is. And signs you haven't fully overcome food addiction, emotional eating, binge eating, because sometimes we can think we're over it, but things just keep cropping up. So we're going to get into all of that right away. First, I have some exciting announcements and you will not want to miss them. So, first off, the show notes can be found for today's episode at amberapproved.ca/podcast/447. Make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter because I don't know what's going to happen with the government here and censorship. They're going to start to do stuff with podcasts the end of this month, and I am still trying to find more details, but subscribe to the newsletter so you don't miss anything. The episodes will always be able to be found at amberapproved.ca/podcast. And you can also watch them, the video version on YouTube if you want to look at me, but that second reminder, you have until tomorrow, if you're listening Sunday, but Monday, November 13th is the last day to sign up for the free access to the 1 month which is my gift to you in the Body Freedom membership. So if you want to come and have a free access month and get to watch all kinds of incredible replays on emotional eating, digestion, inflammation, mindset, ego, vulnerability, dopamine and sugar, and so much more, self-care sessions, tapping, you have to sign up by midnight on November 13th for that. And then your trial starts November 14th and you'll get a notification when you can dive in. Third is I'm having a holiday sale. Everything in the online store is 40% off, and you can use code all caps holidays, and you can use it as many times as you like to get 40% off anything in the online store. We've got masterclasses on emotional eating, hormone health, inflammation, skin, building body love. We've got Kick the Sugar replay program, freedom from emotional eating, self-study program. We've got the hormone harmony self-study and VIP programs where you can get hormone testing and coaching with me, and two new things. There might be more, but two new things. Ask Amber one-to-one mini coaching, where we're going to have a group of 5 to 10 women come and have a 12 to 15-minute slot to receive hot seat coaching from me. And we're also going to have a great gut health masterclass in the new year. So if you want to get 40% off of those and be like an early bird, then you can that launch is now early for podcast listeners, and you can click the links below in the description if you're watching on the YouTube to go and shop. Get yourself some Christmas gifts this year instead of spending it all on others, right? And I'll touch a little bit more on these as we go through the episode today and as we dive into next week's episode as well. So without further ado, let's talk about, this mindset. Can anyone guess what it is? Leave a comment below if you're on YouTube before we get to what it actually is. Can anyone guess what it is though? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to just touch on something that somebody left me I think it was last week. And I'm always so grateful when people are like vulnerable and actually share stuff in the comments. So when people often will say to me, like, I'm inflamed, I'm bloated, I'm struggling with my weight, I'm emotional eating, I have cravings, I'm exhausted, like all of that stuff, which I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I know it's not fun. And then it's like, I've been making poor choices. I know I've been making poor choices. I've been struggling with these things for years or decades, right? All of this is kind of like part of the story. And then it's like, I'm not doing enough exercise. I'm not eating clean enough. I'm exhausted, right? It's like, I know what I need to do. I just have to actually do it. Or I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. That is the mindset. Okay. I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. I know what I need to do. I just have to do it. Okay. So let's talk about why this is a sabotaging mentality, because it actually is. Okay. Now, this is keeping you stuck because number one, yes, we all have different sets of knowledge. And I want you to celebrate the knowledge that you have, whether it's knowledge about nutrition, vitamins, your hormones, your gut health, emotional eating, your weight loss blocks, your ego, right? Whatever it is, spiritual healing, energy healing, maybe you're a guru with money or like tech, like whatever the things are, I want you to celebrate your knowledge that you have. And I'm specifically going to zone in on the journey to food and body freedom here, of course. You know, we all have different professions and backgrounds and sets of knowledge. And we think we have enough knowledge and that we should just know better. However, here's the thing. If you truly knew all you needed to know, would you still be struggling with the binge eating, the food addiction, the emotional eating? Would you still be struggling with the weight roller coaster, the ego battle, the people pleasing, the overbooking, the needing to prove because you don't feel good enough? Would you still be struggling with a body image insecurities and the diet mentalities and the need to chase the number on the scale? Would you still be struggling with the intensive refined sugar cravings and the gut issues and the bloating and the fatigue and the exhaustion and so on and so forth, right? If you truly did know what to do fully, would you still be struggling? And I think it's important because the ego's like, well, of course, like I know what to do, because that's what the ego does. It gets all on its high horse, right? No one knows everything. I don't know everything, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm always open to learning. But what is the block is that you continue to sit in that story and mentality and use that as a reason, story, or excuse why you actually unconsciously or subconsciously are not moving forward and taking the aligned action steps to actually deal with the roots of what's going on for you. Because to be honest with you, the exercise and the nutrition are the superficial parts of this. Truly. And we can have all the nutrition knowledge in the world. You could have 30 self-care practices under your belt and the perfect personal trainer. But if you're still going home at the end of the night and you're binging and emotionally eating and overbooking your schedule and working 14-hour days and going to bed so exhausted and responding to your clients in the middle of the night because you fear if you don't that they'll leave you and then it'll like fold your business and so on and so forth. Like if this is the kind of mentalities that you're still in, or that like it's just about finding the next diet, it's just this diet didn't work, there's a better one there for me, right? And this is the kind of loop that you continue to be in. I don't really know what's going to change for you because you are focusing on, this is a very self-sabotaging mentality because it's just keeping you stuck. And then you can keep leaning on it. Well, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. So let's ask the question, like, if you know what you need to do, why aren't you doing it? Right? And part of the reason why we'll not do it and follow through, or only follow through for a while and then fall back into the old habits, is because you are exhausted. You are brain fogged. You're not sleeping well. You're puffy. You're bloated. You're in pain. You're at war with your body. You're so pissed at her. You're tired of fighting with her, right? You're upset because you gained another 5, 10, 20, 50 pounds and you just think your body's out to get you. right? You maybe gained some traction on your diet the last couple of weeks, but then you got triggered to binge or emotionally eat, and now you're back into that cycle. And so now you're thinking and researching, well, what's the next diet? Or maybe you're in the F mentality. I'll just try in the new year, which I honestly encourage you to not wait until the new year. You could gain so much traction and do so much healing now leading up to the holidays, now going into American Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate, and into the new year, right? Like, how would it feel for you if you could actually have better digestion going through the holidays, less bloating, less gas, less discomfort, not be as puffy, inflamed, and bloated, have your clothes fit the same or start to fit looser, lessen the amount of binge and emotional eating triggers, and lessen how tempted you feel with food through the holidays, maybe have a little more time for you or a lot more, get better sleep, etc. This is where there is still the opportunity to take advantage of the one-on-one coaching savings for the 4, 6, and 12-month packages. This is one of the last times that I will be dropping this reminder. So if you know that this is for you and that you do want a high level of support to really help you have a more mindful holiday season and come into the new year feeling like a whole new woman, and then continuing to build from there without the diet, and with confidence, with food in your body, and a lot more instead, then DM me. I'm thinking of Instagram. You can email me info@amberproof.ca to talk about that, or you can book a 30-minute body freedom consultation. It's $50 USD. You fill it in intake form, and then we talk about you and what's going on, and then we can talk about the programs, and I can answer your questions. So that is also there too. But this is the thing: is we have certain knowledge. However, you can have all the nutrition knowledge. You can have the best personal trainer. You can have the best food in your fridge. You can have the most beautiful meal plan ready to be planned out. You can have all the self-care tools in your belt. However, if you do not know how to manage your ego, that negative voice in the mind, your beautiful meal plan and your personal trainer and your self-care tools might not do the trick. Sometimes, yes, we can use self-care tools to help us take our power back, but there's underlying usually insecurities and emotions that are below this mindset that's keeping you stuck, and we'll get into that right away. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, when you're overwhelmed and so exhausted that you're in a fight or flight response all the time, and then you think about what you should do next and you like freeze and then you do nothing, and then that just overwhelms you more, how is your pretty meal plan or personal trainer going to help you in that moment? Right? How is the diet going to help you in that moment? When you get on the scale and you see that it's gone up and you're so upset because you are dreading potentially gaining weight through the holidays because you're not addressing your binge and emotional eating and it's just accumulating, in the moment, what's going to actually shift your trajectory is knowing how to manage your ego and navigate dealing with your ego. And I promise more ego programs are going to be coming in 2024. I'm probably going to do smaller bite-sized things rather than a big program. I just find I honestly get a better response when I offer like smaller bite-sized things rather than bigger things, unless that changes. So stay tuned. There will be more of that coming. But if you don't know how to navigate your ego, which is that negative sabotaging voice in the mind, that's like, yeah, you're inflamed. Yeah, you're puffy. Yeah, you're gaining weight. Yeah, you have cravings. Yeah, so what? You binged again. What's new? Like, if you could just try a little harder with the knowledge that you have, like, you know what you need to do. It's just you're not doing it. You know what you need to do. You just need to do it. And then you get yourself all psyched up and amped up and you try, and then you fail because you're not addressing the roots, or there's knowledge that you're lacking, awareness that you're lacking. And here's the thing: knowledge and awareness are different. I could have all the book smarts in the world, but that doesn't mean I'm in tune with my body and aware of my ego and aware of my symptoms and my frequency and my energy and my mood and what makes it better and what doesn't. I can have all the, nutrition knowledge in the world, but if I do not understand the connection between my ego mindset, my overbook schedule, my limiting belief of I have to do it all because I have to be superwoman, and don't deal with that and understand the connection to your significant adrenal fatigue or adrenal burnout or thyroid issue, what's going to really change? Okay. This is so important for us to really get honest with ourselves. And it's okay if you said this. Like I said it in the past too, but it was a sabotage because it did keep me stuck, because I'm sitting here going, well, I have all this knowledge. I just, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. but it wasn't working because I actually was using that mindset to avoid doing the deeper work. Because when I referred to like, I know what I need to do, I just have to do it, is like, eat cleaner, be more diligent with my diet, be more consistent with my exercise, right? Just lose more weight. That'll fix everything. And it's about a lot more than those things. And what will make it easier to be mindful with food, to eat really beautifully, but also be able to enjoy mindful indulgence, to be able to release the weight, to be able to have more energy, release inflammation, is going, okay, well, what's truly going on internally that I'm not looking at or facing, or am I afraid to face? Because often we'll stay in a mentality like this because we have a fear or an insecurity, or it feels very uncomfortable to think about addressing the roots of our struggles. It feels so much easier to just try take another vitamin, try another meal plan, try another personal trainer, or just numb out with food and Netflix and say F it for the rest of the year because it's just too tempting and too hard. You can choose that, but I really encourage you not to, because what does it cost you to keep in that mentality? More overwhelm, worse hormones, more energy drain, worse bloating. The more we sit in it, the longer it takes then to heal, because we're making all of our symptoms worse. We're draining the energy more. We have more emotional stuff to work on. The ego gets more of a hold. The more we repeat the patterns of binge and emotional eating, the more we wire the patterns in the brain. And then it's going to take longer to undo those patterns. The sooner you start working on it, the more relief you'll see, the easier the patterns will be to shift. The sooner you'll be free of the self-sabotage, the sooner you'll have more confidence and awareness and be more attuned to your body. It's completely up to you. I'm here to plant the seed, light the fire under your butt, right? So often we will feel some kind of fear, insecurity around addressing the roots. And so we will use this mindset as a safety blanket, a comfort zone, okay? Maybe you feel guilt or shame around asking for help. Maybe you feel embarrassed about your binge or emotional eating habits. And I'm here to tell you, I see you, I hear you, you're not alone. There's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed about. If you want to reach out and just share with me what you're going through and get it off your chest, please do, right? But this is all ego, to go like, I don't need help, or I know what I need to do, I'm just not doing it, right? Or I feel guilty asking for help, or I feel shame or embarrassment for what I'm struggling with. This is all ego. Or like, I don't need help. Like I know everything, right? Those are all ego mentalities that come back to this common mindset that's keeping you stuck, right? I can do it all on my own. And I think one of the other things that's tied to this, things that are underlying, is some of you may not feel worthy to ask for help, or that you could succeed and truly create food and body freedom, be free of your symptoms, be free of the self-sabotage with food, be free of the fight with your body, and so much more. You don't feel worthy. And so because you don't feel worthy to succeed, or you fear what the success of healing could look like, you use this statement, this mentality, and it's part of what keeps you stuck in the self-sabotage. You're all worthy to heal. You're all worthy to have what you want, but are you willing to show up and do the work? And if you're like, oh my gosh, this is opening up for me, my ego has a massive hold on me, this is where getting some kind of support could really be beneficial for you and help you shift. And I'm always trying to create things to accommodate people at all levels, depending on what appeals to you and what your budget is. And that's why I opened up the free month in the membership, because it could really help you a lot, right? That's why I wanted to have this sale, because if it's going to help some of you get into programs and master classes or get some kind of support, amazing, right? But you've got to choose to be like, that's my ego, truly, and get honest with yourself. If you truly knew it all, would you still be struggling? Truly. And can you admit to yourself that this mindset is not working for you and it's not helping you out at all? I think, sometimes it can be hard to step out of denial or admit that we're wrong, or admit that we don't know it all, because we don't want to step off of our high horse, off of our ego. But that only keeps you stuck and suffering and fighting with these things. And I don't want that for you. Don't want that for you one bit. Okay. So let's talk about shifting this ego perception. Let's talk about how can we clear out this mentality and be real and authentic with ourselves, and like I said, celebrate the knowledge and awareness you have. It's only going to grow, and that's really powerful. Um, and I think one of the most important things we can do is to be humbled, right? To celebrate, our knowledge, our awareness, our schooling, or if we don't have, like, whatever it is, like, and at the end of the day, can you be humble to the fact that you don't know it all? So I think what's important is to recognize, okay, well, what's really below this? I know what I need to do. I just can't seem to do it, or I just need to do it mentality. Usually it is, I need more willpower. So I'm going to try and figure out how to have more willpower. I just need to try harder on my diet. I need to work out harder. If I could just get into a consistent exercise routine, right? And then what's below that is like, oh, why am I still focusing on diets, calorie counting, and burning calories at the gym? Yes, I'm all for mindful movement, move your body in whatever ways you see fit. But I know some of you are punishing yourself with exercise and forcing yourself to do exercise, or being hard on yourself because you're not doing enough exercise, and thinking that that's the answer to lose the weight and gain control with food in your body. And it's not, right? We want to move because we love it. It makes us feel good. We connect with our bodies. We feel energized and in tune afterward. But some people do use it as a sabotage. And I know that because I used to be one of them, and I've coached a lot of you who have. But we've shifted it to mindful, and it's very powerful. But what's usually below all of that? Because usually, because we want quick fix, we have been so heavily conditioned and brainwashed to focus on calories and food and exercise that we completely avoid, or don't want to look at dealing with our unworthiness and not feeling good enough, our low self-esteem, our anxiety and what's fueling it, our fear, worry, lack, fear of success, not feeling worthy of success or healing. We fear dealing with things like people pleasing, perfection, all or nothing mentalities, because we fear confrontation. We fear we're going to create conflict. We fear people are going to abandon us. And this comes from circumstances that could have happened when you were younger. And tell me if you can relate in the comments, if you're watching on YouTube, if you can relate to this. Like, I know when I was younger, when I got called fat and ugly on the bus from the older boys, and then the whole bus made fun of me, like, I wanted to do everything in my power to have everyone like me. And so I remember, like, a few years later, as I got a bit older and, riding the bus, I would bring extra chips or Pringles or candy on the bus. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I used to do this. And I would, like, make those boys that called me ugly and fat, like, do the most ridiculous things. And then I would give them, like, chips, like, make them say stupid things, or like beg me for the chips, because I was like, haha, I'm getting my revenge for you guys being mean to me, right? And also to get attention, to get validation. In grade 6, I vividly remember buying candy and, like, continuing to buy lunches for this one girl so she would be my friend, like buying friendship because I wanted to be friends with the popular girl, right? These are things I did, and I have love and compassion for the little Amber. But when we have that insecurity and we grow up a people pleaser, we can feel really uncomfortable thinking about dealing with that, right? And that wounded inner child and the younger us is like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be abandoned. I don't want anyone to not like me. I don't want people to leave. I don't want anyone to yell at me if I don't say yes, right? Like, this is what we want to start working on and giving attention to, these wounds, these insecurities. Why are you insecure in your body? What happened to you that made you not like your body, right? Why are you chasing the scale and diets and fearing, losing control with your weight in your body, even though it's already happening? What's triggering you to emotionally eat and binge, right? These are the kinds of things that we want to start looking at. If you're exhausted, get honest with yourself. Are you overbooking and people pleasing and proving it in an all or nothing mentality? Are you binging and then heavily restricting? Are you waking up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym for an hour and a half, like 6 days a week, and not taking a rest day, right? Are you constantly fighting in your mind and in negative self-talk and putting yourself down? Are you literally dedicating no time to yourself? And I will tell you, because I've seen this enough with clients and their test results, and I went through it too. If you're dedicating like little to no time for yourself, you're probably going to be in an adrenal fatigue or an adrenal burnout. And that's going to make you feel really tired and really brain fogged and puffy and lethargic. It's not fun. I've been there. I was in my 20s. And I kind of went back into a little bit when we had the really noisy neighbors, and holy crap, the sleep was not good in October. The eclipses, the full moon, the new moon, kind of some noise from different neighbors again. It's like, oh my gosh, like I just want to sleep. Bring all the good vibes for good sleep, right? But life happens. Life happens. And what's powerful though about the knowledge I have now is that I know how to navigate my ego better. My ego still pipes up. However, I'm humbly open to the fact that I don't know it all. And when my ego pipes up, I don't get hard on myself and go, okay, maybe there's another opportunity to learn something else here. Another learning opportunity. This struggle is coming up again. This block, this fear, this insecurity is coming up again because there's something else for me to learn, something else to neutralize and let go of so that I no longer give my power away to this. I'm so open to that. Because trust me, I've gone into the victim mode. I'm like, I thought I dealt with that fully already, and now it's back, and blah, 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 and it's never going to change. That's all ego. But we're human, and it comes up, and it's okay. So the shift in perception is actually acknowledging like this mentality is my ego. It is a safety blanket, because if I really mustered up my courage and my bravery, and I actually looked at what's blocking me from moving forward, which is probably like people pleasing, perfection, ego mentalities, not feeling good enough, insecurities, continuing to think I need to focus on diets and quick fixes versus actually addressing the roots emotionally, right? The fears around failure. What if I try this and fail? The overwhelm, the uncertainty, the stepping into the unknown. It's uncomfortable. I know that. Trust me. I've worked through so many uncomfortable things this year. And I'm proud of myself because I'm dedicated and committed. Doesn't mean it's been easy. You don't see all the quote unquote work happening behind the scenes, all the journaling, the meditation, the beating on my pillow and screaming into it, the sacred rage sessions, the somatic shaking sessions, the meditations, the support that I reach out to get, because I know I don't know it all. And I'm not hearing to go, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it, because I know that's BS. I don't, in some circumstances, know what I need to do. And that's where I reach out and invest in support, or have communication and talk to people and ask for help. Or I go, okay, well, there's something else for me to learn. I'm going to be open to that, and I know it will come. Because if I otherwise sat in that mentality, I wouldn't learn and grow. And we often will not learn and grow and overcome and gain the freedom we seek in these different areas of our life journey to food and body freedom and beyond, if we sit in the mentality of, I know what I need to do, I'm just not doing it, or I just need to do it. Can you admit for yourself that this is a block and a sabotage? And if you truly are like, I don't like, I do know what I need to do, and I just need to do it, then I encourage you to come to the mini coaching, the Ask Amber 1-to-1 mini coaching. So essentially what that is I'm going to host a group of you, a group of 5 to 10 women, and you're all going to get the opportunity to have a 12 to 15 minute, it just depends how many women come. So it'd be a minimum of 5. And then if it's more than 6, then we'll go up to from a 60-minute session to a 90-minute session. But there will be a group of 5 to 10 of you in that session, and you're all going to get 12 to 15 minutes to come on and receive one-on-one coaching from me in the group setting. So you can ask whatever you want, whatever guidance you need. And I will give you the coaching, we'll record it, and you'll have lifetime access to the replay. And so with the 40% off sale, usually it's 84 USD, it's on for 50 USD, and we have limited spots. So if you want to come and join the first round of Ask Amber and get that support, here's your opportunity at a freaking incredible price. And the other cool thing is being in the group. If you're afraid to ask something, or you forget to ask something, I swear to you, someone else or multiple other women in the group will ask, and you'll get your answers. You're going to learn more and gain more because of that community. And you're also going to not feel alone, going, wow, like I'm not the only one. I feel so much more empowered. So if you want to come for the Ask Amber mini 1-to-1 coaching, you can go to the amberapproved.ca/podcast/447, click the holiday coaching sale banner, use the code holidays all caps at checkout. You'll see the Ask Amber like prompt to sign up on the online store page. And then as soon as you sign up, you'll get an email with an intake form to fill out. And then we'll figure out the time that works best for the ladies to come live, because ideally I want you all to come live. If you can't, you can leave questions and I can thoroughly answer them, but I want to try and like get us all in the same time so that we can come live together. So that's what the mini one-to-one Ask Amber coaching is. It's going to be really cool. So come and join us. But if you're like feeling stuck or feeling blocked, that's where opportunities like this I'm opening up, because if I can help you get unstuck or unblocked, or help you get that aha moment and get out of your own way and like kind of shut your ego up and take your power back, then like that's why we're here. And of course, the details are below in the links if you're watching on YouTube, to come and join us for this. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited. I'm playing and trying new things. I'm getting into my creative genius again. I feel like that kind of felt a little snuff for a while. So lots of good things coming. So it's shifting the ego perception and going, it's okay that I don't know it all. I celebrate my knowledge, and it's also okay that I don't know it all. And maybe I don't know everything that I need to do or need help with on this journey. And that's okay. Am I open to more learning, building more awareness? Am I open to getting support? Or maybe it's like a masterclass and getting a certain education on a certain topic that maybe you already know a bit about, but like we can go tenfold deeper. Like another example is the Triggers 3-part masterclass replay, where we dive into dozens and dozens and dozens of different emotional or binge eating triggers you may be struggling with. And I can guarantee you, even if you know some of your triggers now, you're going to be mind blown with like, holy crap, I knew about 5 or 6 triggers, but now I have awareness of 15 or 20 of them. Or wow, like now I'm not being so hard on myself about binge eating or emotional eating, because I realize the depth of these triggers. That it's all 40% off. So go check that out. That is like a must have if you're struggling with binge or emotional eating and you want to start moving forward, right? But this is the first step, is admitting I don't know it all, and that's okay. And what am I, what am I afraid of is going to happen if I let go of this mindset? That's one of the journal prompts. So what am I afraid of that will happen if I let go of this, I know what I need to do, I just can't seem to do it mentality? Because there's totally something there for you. There's totally something there. Are you willing to look? And, I really want you to ask yourself, like, when you consider reaching out for support, investing in something, taking on more knowledge, or humbling yourself that you don't know it all, and there must be something missing, what does your ego say? That's the second journal prompt. So what does your ego say? I'm just writing it too, because I'll add it to the show notes and stuff for you guys, and below in the description. When you admit you don't know it all, because it's probably going to try and put up a fight. I can guarantee you that, because your ego wants to keep you stuck in this mentality. Your ego doesn't want you to change. Your ego doesn't want you to go, maybe I don't know it all. Maybe there is something else. Maybe I do want to reach out for support. Maybe I do want to try this, mini coaching. Maybe I do want to do XYZ thing, whatever that is. Your ego's like, no, you really do know it all. You just need to try like next week, or maybe just wait until after Christmas, because the holidays are coming and like it's a loss at this point anyway. So don't bother. Like just figure it out in the new year. Or it's just about another diet. Like that's all you need. There's nothing else there. Or it's too uncomfortable to do the deeper work and deal with the emotions and deal with your triggers. Like food is your friend. It's your crutch. Like it's not a big deal. Like your binges aren't a big deal. Like this is the BS verbiage that the ego will give us. Ask for help. You don't need help. You have to do it all on your own. You should feel guilty asking for help. Like everyone around you already does so much for you anyway. Why would you bother to ask for more help? You should feel bad. This is all ego wanting to keep you stuck. And I'm going to do a whole episode about like, what is the work for you to do right now? Because it really is the mindset work while supporting the physical body. Because if you don't work on the mindset, not a lot's going to change. It's just the honest truth, because your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors are dictating the way you behave, the way you do or don't show up in your life. So if none of that changes in your environment and the way you take care of yourself, and the time you commit to yourself doesn't change or improve, like what really is going to change? And unfortunately, that just causes a lot of unnecessary suffering that none of you beautiful souls deserve to have. Okay. So we want to shift the perception and be authentic with ourselves and just be honest and go, you know what? I don't know. And that's okay. And I'm courageous and brave and powerful for just admitting it. What's missing? What do I want to look at? Right? What am I afraid of that will happen if I let go of this? I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it mentality. What does my ego have to say when I admit I don't know it all? What's holding me back? That's the third journal prompt. Like, what's truly holding me back from doing the deeper work? I always ask this question when I have a consultation with somebody, because there's always things there. And it's important for us to acknowledge your fears, your insecurities, your fear of failure, fear of investment. What if it doesn't work, right? The fear of the unknown, the fear of getting uncomfortable. And a lot of it has to do with discomfort. We've been so conditioned, sadly, to like never do anything that makes us uncomfortable, when it's in fact doing the uncomfortable things that usually give us the most massive change, transformation, healing, and breakthroughs. It's not that you sit in immense discomfort 24/7, because that's really hard on the nervous system, but it's like bite-sized baby steps, one step at a time. And as we do that, then it really helps you get on your way. And that is what builds the confidence, is it's one thing at a time. One step at a time, not like doing it all at once, because that's just going to keep you stuck. So be authentic with yourself. Be honest with yourself. You know, what is really in the way? What are you struggling with? What do you fear? What are your insecurities? And then the other side of it, like, how would it feel if I felt confident? How would it feel if, even though it's uncomfortable, that I do it anyway, and it actually helps me feel so much better? And getting uncomfortable and working through these things, whatever's going on for you, actually helps me overcome the people pleasing, set healthy boundaries, feel in my power, sleep better, have better energy, less bloating, gain freedom from the binging and emotional eating. Like, hello, amazing. What if you could navigate the holidays and just like be detached from food and be like, yeah, I'll have that if I want it, but I'm not afraid to lose control. And you don't gain any weight, your digestion stays the same, you have the same amount of energy, and you just have the memories to cherish going into the new year. No diet, no quick fixes, lifestyle changes that you have for life. That is, to me, everything. Like, I'm not worried about food with the holidays. I've got a bunch of boxes of chocolates in the spare room, and I am like so detached, because I like to order my Christmas chocolate, and it's beautiful and it's handmade, right? And if you don't order it early enough, they usually sell out. But I am so detached. Like, but the me 10 years or like 12, 13 years ago would be so tempted and be eating it all. Right? So this is the place you get to with food, that you get to enjoy it, but that you're detached, and it's not like a burden, and you're not just like waiting for the next trigger to lose control, and the next like relapse of self-sabotage, right? So let's just touch on some signs that you haven't fully overcome your food addiction, emotional, or binge eating yet, because I think that this is also important to touch on, because these are valid. And I've talked to some women who, say, I thought that I fully overcame it, but this is still coming up, and now I'm building awareness around this. And to me, optimal food and body freedom, we're not still dealing with these things. And so if you can resonate with these things, don't be hard on yourself, and be willing to go like, what am I, if this is going on for me, what do I want to do about it? So the first thing is, you have to avoid certain stores, places, social events, or outings that, have your trigger foods, for fear of being tempted and losing control again. Like, it's like for fear of Pandora's box being opened back up. Now, if we truly have healed our food addiction, we should be able to go in anywhere, to anything, or be with anyone and have any food around, and not feel any fear or stress in our body that we're going to lose control. That's optimal. It's like you're detached. It's like the chocolate in the next room. I have no worry about it. I'm not afraid. It's just nothing. But it took doing the work to get to that point. You still fear the foods that are or were causing you to lose control and binge or emotionally eat. And like I was just saying, you're afraid if you eat some of the sugar, or you eat that chocolate, or you eat that chip, that you may end up losing control and going into a relapse. If you have self-respect, and you learn how to respect food, and you've truly healed, You can eat those foods you used to lose control in and you won't. You may be turned off. Like I have zero desire to go and eat fast food, not because I'm afraid to go and eat it and lose control, but because it's literally pure garbage and I do not put pure garbage in my body. I just don't. That's a personal choice. You all can eat fast food if you want to, but I don't want to give my money to a company that's literally wanting to poison people and make people sick. That's like, I vote with my dollars. Right. But sometimes I eat refined sugar, but I don't eat it often because it is so sweet to me and it makes my teeth ache. Then I get really thirsty and it's like, no. And I can make a lot of this stuff myself, or luckily have lots of really great people in my community that have really wonderful companies and products. So start sourcing your local stuff, but there's stuff to deal with there. You feel immense guilt after you do indulge. Okay. I think that's really a really big deal that you feel the guilt. We shouldn't feel guilt after indulging if we have fully healed our relationship with food. Okay. It's like you enjoy the moment, you have the thing, you move on. You still obsess about food and think about it a lot. You daydream about foods you're still not really allowing yourself to have, or you think that you shouldn't have because you might gain weight, or they might flare up your bloating or your symptoms. If symptoms are still flaring up or you're still fearing gaining weight, there is stuff to look at underlying physically, emotionally, and energetically. And you still feel this need to have massive control over food out of your house because you have this lack of trust with your body, that your body can like break down the food and process it, or you fear losing control with your weight or symptoms coming back. So as long as we have a lot of fears and anxieties and insecurities thinking about food, there's something there to give attention to. So which ones came up for you? Which ones came up for you? Feel free to drop a comment below if you're watching on YouTube, and you can always leave a comment on the blog on the show notes page as well. I always love hearing from you guys. This is why I'm here doing this for you. So what comes up? And the last journal prompt that I want to do for today is, who would I be if I got out of my own way? Who would I be? What would things look like? Powerful. All food for thought. Enjoy the journal prompts though, and I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. The show notes for today can be found at amberproof.ca/podcast/447. So that's where you're going to go if you want to sign up for the membership free trial, which ends tomorrow, November 13th. If you want the 40% off, use code all caps holidays, and you can click the holiday sale banner in the show notes page and go and get in on some of these new offers. Come into the mini one-on-one hot seat coaching. And or if you still want to take advantage of these savings for the bigger programs, you are so welcome to book a 30-minute body freedom consult or email me. You can also go to amberproof.ca and take the free emotional eating quiz if you're wondering if you're struggling, and check out whatever other details you want on the website. So as I always say, there's no better time than the present to take action on your health. So take action now. Have a beautiful day, a great week. I'm sending you so much love, and I will look forward to seeing you all for a new episode next Sunday. Take care.